week 1 of Knee on Belly. And there's a lot of different ways to play knee on belly. Some people will try to drive the knee in its sternum and pull up on the gi or pull up on the head, and you're just really trying to put a lot of pressure on your partner. I don't do that one a lot just because I feel like it might make them mad and they might just be able to flip me over. So I like the control ones more. But you can come right on the edge of their floating ribs and really sit your weight down. I want my foot hooked here on his ribs, and I'm sitting with all my weight on my shin. And now if he tries to sit up, because my shin is on the edge of his floating ribs, it makes it really hard. Versus if I'm being nicer, and back here, it's super easy for him to sit up. It's also easier for them to arch one way or another and move your weight. But if you're with a partner who's either really new or a lot smaller than you, you will want to put your shin a little bit back so that you're not crushing your partner. And then sometimes if you want to bait them into kind of coming up a little bit, I can be back a little bit more, and that'll make him want to come up and allow me to catch different things. So that's kind of some general ideas on knee on belly. A few ways that I find myself getting into it. A lot of times in side control, trying to clear these elbows, but he's keeping them in. It's kind of annoying. I need to get this elbow out of the way, so I'm going to just kind of slide my arm in under his head, bring my hands together in a triangle. And I'm going to squish his head and shoulder together a little bit. That creates space for my knee on belly. And bring it right in like that. That's one good way to get there. Another good way is I'm in mount, and maybe he arches, and I just pop off to knee on belly instead of getting bucked all the way off. And then one other way that's pretty common is maybe off of my pass. I just bring my hips in, I kick out, and I come right to the knee on belly. On this one, I'll end up a little bit low, so I may need to kind of adjust a little bit and just hand bite to get to my optimum knee on belly position. Alright, so once I found myself in my knee on belly position, there's a couple different things I can do to make this a little stronger. I can grab the collar and rest my own elbow on my thigh. That can make it a little bit stronger. If I get it on the cross collar side, I can then come over this way, or if I have this cross collar in first, I can come underneath. So we're going to take this cross collar across here, and he might be bucking around, and that's okay. I can use this other arm as an outrigger, and then when there's a moment where there's a gap here, slide that other arm in. I'm going to draw my elbows into my hips and my head down towards the mat. If my grip maybe wasn't quite tight enough, then I will end up drawing my head further down and all the way posted to the mat before I get to tap, and that's okay, but you want to try to get your grip as deep as possible, and then as you lean forward, that'll tighten the choke. So again, whatever grip fighting I'm starting with, if I can get this side on the leg side all the way across, this is nice and strong, I can balance, and then when I'm ready, both arms in, nice and tight, drawing your elbows towards your hips. Alright, this next one is the baseball choke. It can be confusing which hand goes where, but the hand that's on top of my knee is going to be palm up, other hand palm down. And this one I don't need to get my hands quite as deep together as the cross collar. I'm going to get a nice strong grip. And then this arm can be problematic for me, so I'm going to take my knee that was on their belly and slide it across. So I have a baseball bat grip, and then also I did a baseball slide. And then I can start crossing my arms, keeping them nice and straight, and towards the hip. Again, I have a good position, fighting his hands, whatever. I get my hands in, drag the knee across, and then straighten my arms and bring my head to the hips. There is a no-gi option. This one is going to be a little harder because you don't have the nice collar to work with, and I think it's a little bit crushier, but it's still an option. There's different grips that you can use, S grips or gable grip. I personally like the gable grip. So I'm going to put my hand under his head, and this one I need to kind of stay pretty low so that I'm not losing my balance as I get this arm stuck all the way under his head. Then I'm going to take my gable grip with the palm under his head facing the shoulder, and then I'm going to slide it down towards his throat, and then do kind of the same motion, but it's much more of a crush with my forearm on the tracheus. It's not quite as clean of a choke. Cool. One more time. All right, so this time, as I'm trying to go for the choke, sometimes my partner might start bringing their arm in and pushing it away. As soon as this elbow comes up, I can shoot the ankle that was on my knee on belly up into his armpit. Now I'm going to need to post on the mat so that I don't fall over. And I'm really hooking hard on the back of his armpit. And I'm catching this arm nice and tight. And then as I lean over, I'm putting my foot right above his ear and dragging his head to really get a lot of control on that. So again, I'm in here. I might be fighting for the chokes as soon as his arm comes up a little bit. If I have a gi, I can pull on the sleeve. If it's no gi, I can just pinch tight here. And I'm pivoting my ankle right into his armpit and posting on the mat. Coming over and finishing the armbar. If he starts bucking around and I do fall over, I stay nice and tight to his body so that he can't hitchhiker away, and then just finish right next to him. Just holding his hip to keep him from running away.